Alright guys, you here again with Kicks on the Fly today, man. We're doing a little something different than the sneakers and the fashion culture. We got another artist here, local, Matak, ASM Matak, or Matt, whatever you know him by. You know the vibes. Yes, sir. So, tell me, man, how's it going?
It's been going really good lately. Doing a lot of work, managing what I need to do.
Right. Getting more. What about contact, man? You pushing more out there for us?
More content. I try to do at least monthly content, whether it be music videos or a new song. I do it on every platform just so I can try and gain weight and get more people's attention.
Okay, and how do you do that? Like putting like all your music in different platforms for like people that trying to come up and they don't know how to.
Well, there
put
are
their stuff
actually
on.
multiple different apps and streaming things you can use. I use DistroKid, so for X amount of money a month, I can drop a song through DistroKid and it will distribute it and sell it to all these retailers for me. And I think it's like 40 plus like streaming services like Deezer, Spotify, Apple Music, etc. All that good stuff.
Alright, that's cool, man. And what like actually inspired you to even start music? Because I remember we went to the same high school, so you started your music back in high school, or was it all after high school?
Most of my hip-hop, like where I started making rap and became ASM Matak, was after high school. Early high school and middle school, I was in a rock and roll band and I played bass. And I always liked the idea of being a musician and just being on stage and performing. It's always like, you see them on YouTube, you watch that shit growing up, and it's like, damn, they're actual rock stars. You see the life they're living, and it's like, I want to be a part of that. And a piece of you feels like it's unrealistic, and then there's another piece of you, like the older I got at least, I started thinking about it, I'm like, if all these other people can do it, why can't I? So at one point it transitioned from listening to a lot of rock and roll, and then I was in a relationship for X period of time, and then I never really felt comfortable making music through that time, and that was my high school career, so I started making music about a month after the breakup. It got a little rough, so I was like, you know what, why not make music out of this, make poetry out of my negativity? Like, I have fuel in me, but I don't know what to use it for. So at the time I was injured, I couldn't skate too much, and one of my buddies who I was working with introduced me to a studio, because me and him would sit in the truck at work and freestyle and shit. And one day he just told me, he's like, you know what, like, I got a studio you can come to if you ever got some shit you want to say. I was like, I got a lot to say. And so I think it was July 17th, 2019, I dropped Just Thoughts, and that was my first song, and it's been once a month ever since then.
Word, that's good, man, keeping up with the content and stuff. And like, do you work as well, like when still handling a music career on the side, and like, do you have a job on the side?
Yes, I do work both, because like everybody's different. The come up's going to be different no matter who you are, whether you make good music to some people or bad music to others. Like, everybody has their own lane, but it's also going to be a different speed. So like, you listen to some of these rappers to where it's like, I had my shit overnight. Like, like I made that one hit song. Like, you hear Post Malone talk about it, and he's like, it kind of just happened after I made this song, and after that it was just kind of a groove. And then you listen to some other people, like I listen to Russ a lot. That's a big inspiration for me. He's been making music since 14. He didn't pop until I think 23 years old, and he's 27 now, so like the process is different for everyone. So until I have money to function off of just music, trying to maintain a job and making music, gets a little stressful, because like there's times I'm at work and I'm like, man, I want to be rapping right now. I got so much on my mind. And then like there are days where you're off work and then you're exhausted, and it's like, I don't want to go to the gym, being the studio, and it's like, but I have to. So like, it's a nonstop like hustle for me, because I need to pay my bills, but I also need to push out content. So between that, I really have no downtime, whether it be making pizza or making music. I really just go to sleep and then wake up and get back to work.
Right, always on the grind, 24. Even when you're not working, you're working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how it is. Especially like growing up, you know what I mean? You got everything. You gotta do it yourself nowadays. So
if someone's not gonna give it to you, but it's possible to obtain, then like if you have enough ambition and persistence, and I like to say a little bit of delusion, because with a little bit of delusion you can do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see the wildest dreams in anything. Think outside the box. So you put those three things together, and let time work, you're gonna rack up something.
Oh, eventually.
And I'll put that into any field. If you like making clothes, if you like making content, if you like making music, you put enough of those three things into it and just hustle at it, then over time it's gonna work.
Yeah, and about you saying Russ was like one of your biggest inspiration, was like, is that someone who you looked up to when you were, up and coming, or when you first started? Like,
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember I was I want to say like 19 or 20 when I first heard him, and then I started really listening to hip hop. And then I listened to Ride Slow from him, and that was like a song that like hit different. And I was like, this dude's like talking about real life shit, like no disrespect to any other rappers, everybody has their own lane and wants to talk about other things. I really connected with the ownership and expression of being vulnerable and just talking about real life shit. So it kind of drew me in, and then whenever that whole relationship happened that I was talking about previously, like that's kind of whenever I opened up, I was like, instead of being upset about this, why not use this to my advantage? I got things on my mind, why bottle them up? So listening to him say do whatever you want, be you, like fuck the haters, it's just like, it really is like that, middle finger to anyone who says you can't do something,
Because, at the end of the day, man, if you really put the stride into it, if you really pursue what you want to be, like, it'll happen.
I don't think anybody could tell you otherwise if you put everything you want into it. It's your dreams, it's your goals, it's your life. I don't think someone else has the right to dictate that.
No, 100%, for real.
Demographic and whatnot, I don't think there's an age for it.
Yeah.
Well, I had something I really wanted to say.
Eraser.
Gone.
Oh, shit. Just like...
Oh, yeah. I think it all subjects back into social media, and unfortunately, I really, I hate seeing it, but people, they don't push the go buttons in their lives until, enough people are telling them, alright, do it, we're gonna give you the go ahead, let me pat you on.
Right. They need that forward support, you know what I mean?
You don't need that, as much as it feels good to have people on your side, but if they're not supporting what you love, then they're not on your side to begin with, you know what I'm saying? So, unfortunately, people wait for the pat on the back, be like, you know what, go ahead, do you. But all you need the whole time is to just tell yourself to do it, fuck you telling me, you're not good enough yet, do this, figure that out, try this, try that. No, fuck that. I know what I want to do, so why will I wait 3-4 more years to test things that I don't even care about?
Yeah.
So if somebody doesn't see your vision and doesn't support it, that's cool. You go do you now, I'm going to do me. And, that's how you part ways. That's how you figure out the positives from negatives,
That's mad facts, bro. Because when I started this, bro, I was talking about this for, 2 weeks. And then I went out and bought a camera, and then, after I bought the camera, I messaged Will from Alter Ego. I was like, bro, let me get an interview with you. And he was just like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, damn, all right, cool.
Dreams don't work unless you do.
Right.
And, when you wake up in the morning, you got to, I got to go do my 9 to 5. But whenever I get back, or in the meantime of that 9 to 5, I'm going to be thinking of what's next for my career.
Exactly.
What's next for my dream. All right, how am I going to engage with the fans this week? Who am I gonna for you? Who am I gonna interview next? I know you're always thinking okay, what would be a good one? And you're probably thinking of the people watching. Who do they want to see next?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. That's why I always tell them yo, listen, whoever y'all want to send, and may think I may say no. No, send them my way. I need content.
It's an industry, and it's what you're doing.
Exactly, and it's I'm trying to put everybody on. You need a platform, come. Let me know. Shout me out. You know what I mean? I got you. I'll do an interview, and we were just talking with K Rich the other day about doing interviews after shows. When he knows the guy that puts on the shows for everybody and stuff like that. And it'd be cool if I come after they got off and be like, hey, let me get an interview with you real quick after the interview.
Yeah,
after
and see
the
the raw emotion
of exactly. They sweat and they woo, that crowd be crazy. I seen it. I seen it, man. You know what I mean? That would be dope. So it's just
and it's people like you who are offering things like this. This is my first interview, so shout out AB on Kicks on the Fly. This is a super cool time. It's all about support, and that's what we're just talking about. And
I'm literally doing this no charge. You don't gotta. I'm not even worried about the money. It's just something that I like to do. You know what I mean? It started with just the sneakers and the fashion culture because that's what I love. I've been on that since I was 14. When the sneaker game was rising, but just rising. You know what I mean? And then it transformed into something else. You could do something for the community here, how me and Will was talking about it, and it just expanded to that. So I was just let's do it. I don't have a problem. You know what I mean? I've had people call me hey, let me get an interview. All right,
Let's
you know what I
do it.
mean? I got off Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
I was about to say, you're probably doing things
Wednesdays.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Let me know. You know what I mean? Like, either you could do it in the environment that you want to, or you can come here. Like, this is the spot, you know? So, it doesn't matter, man. Like, I'm trying to put everybody on. Like, you need a platform. You want to shout your things out? Holla. I'm only a call away, bro. I promise. You know?
And you're doing more for the community than you think by that. Like, you might just be interviewing people in your head, but, like, you're making people feel comfortable to, like, come and tell people
chill.
what's up. Like,
right.
you know, like...
It's really that easy, and I feel like I know, well, a couple people already, like, know who I am, you know what I mean? And it's just, like, I could use that to my advantage, you know what I mean? With whatever I'm doing, it's just, like, the people that already know you know what you're doing, and if they like it, then they're going to send it forward, you know what I mean? Like, hey, yo, check it out, you know, check this out, like, he's doing this and that, so if you're doing any of that, like, let him know, you know, it's just, all that is like a connected dots, like, here, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
pinpoint everything, like, and it's that simple, man. It's not hard, you know, it's just about really wanting to do it, the want, you know, how bad do you want it?
A lot of this is like high school politics, really. Like, the expression, the rumor mill, like, things go fast through it. You know, little birdie told me, like, all you gotta do is put your stuff out there, and whether it's good reviews or bad reviews, it's still gonna be talked about. Like, you know, I can't tell you how many times I've had people be like, I heard about your thing just because somebody said, like, oh, Matt's making music now. I didn't necessarily like it, and then I got a fan who's like, they said they didn't like it, but I'm bopping your shit every day.
Right,
now, you know
what I mean? Don't worry about the haters, like you said. Like, at the end of the day, you will always have haters, no matter if you're at the bottom,
and they're helping you at the end of the day.
Yeah,
so, like,
you know what I mean? They keep, putting your name in your mouth. It's like,
I'm using your negativity as fuel, and I could tell all you guys that right now. So, like, you know, keep hating, keep loving, whatever it is. Like, I'm gonna keep pushing out content because I know what I want to do. So, it's as simple as that. I think all of this lies on, like, how you handle situations. You know, people can get backlash and back down from it and be like, okay, this isn't for me.
Right.
Or you could take backlash and be like, that's cool, now check out what I could do with that.
Right.
And put out more content and stay in their face. Like, that's what I did for a hot minute, and I'm still transforming, still figuring out what I want to do, you know? Like I said, I just filmed a music video last night. I just dropped another one last night. I got another song next month. I got another music video coming out during Christmas, you know?
It's just,
I got 2021 planned out. Yeah, you know, if you want something, you can get it. Just being on top of that ball and not letting somebody knock you down, because there's a lot of people in this lane. A lot of people in every lane, you know? Like, you might think, oh, hey, there's not a lot of people doing shoes right now or, like, making TV stands, whatever it may be. There's somebody out there who wants to do it better than you.
Yeah, 100%. But at the end of the day, it's just all about you. You know what I mean? What are the
only person you want to do better than is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I, like, live. Like, you know, somebody could tell me, like, oh, you're not doing enough. Like, if I feel like I'm doing enough and I'm pushing myself, like, who are you to tell me that I'm not?
Right.
You know, it's all
especially
about
if they're not even seeing
pursuing
the work. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even see it. That's my thing. Like, you're gonna sit here and tell me that I'm not doing this and that when, you know what I mean? You're not behind the scenes with me, bro.
No, not
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not with me. So it's just like, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You know,
I'm gonna eat at your table. I'm gonna eat at my table.
And I'm gonna still keep pushing because I still gotta eat. You know what I mean?
100%.
Every day.
And it's all about just being humble and not being a dickhead at the same time. You know, like, don't be a pushover, but, like, you know, don't be an asshole. I notice, like, this industry takes over a lot of people, and, like, not at the beginning stage. You know, like, not at the beginning stage.
I feel like at the beginning, everybody's like genuine.
Everybody's in love with it. Everybody wants to help out. Everybody wants to pop. I think it's right about that blue check stage.
Yeah.
Somebody drops a blue check on your account, you start to think,
ooh,
all right, let me stop shouting out. Like, you know, now I'm getting
I'm here now.
No. That's not how it's supposed to roll.
Yeah.
You know, so
But that's how it does go. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, so that's what I was about to say. Switching up is something that happens in life, and you just gotta adapt to it. People are gonna switch up. Music is gonna switch up. Clothes are gonna switch up. It's all a matter of who you want to be at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, I started off as a skater kid. I'm still rocking Adidas. I still wear, like, my beat up skate shoes. I still go skate. Like, just because the times change doesn't mean I change. I just kind of adapted a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. No, that's good, bro. For real. So tell me about that. Like when you heard Russ and all this, and you said that he almost changed the way that you look at things, or something like that along the lines. Like, how did that influence your music?
I started off listening and making very sad music because I was in a very sad spot. So not sure if you ever heard of Fora or if anybody's ever heard of Fora, but check him out. Really dope dude. He doesn't make typical rap. It's like poetry on a beat, and that's where I started. So if you listen to my SoundCloud stuff, it's nothing to what you listen to what I'm distributing to platforms now. My sound has changed. So I went from making poetry to listening to Russ to getting influenced by that in a way, kind of trying to find my own sound at the same time. So I was making chorus, verse, kind of catchy rhythms to get people's attention and whatnot.
To listen to.
Yeah, something everybody likes a good hook and everybody likes a good beat. So shout out Kembo for that. Always doing a good job with that. But so at some point I told myself, I was like, all right, he may be your influence, but you got to find your own lane, and that's wherever I made Look What I Did. And Look What I Did was really one of my first songs to where I felt like that was all me. I didn't take influence out of anybody else. I just sat and wrote a song one day, and that led to Old Days, which was one of my more upbeat songs, but it's also a little taste of old school Matic SoundCloud with the lyrics I'm distributing. So over time I really just found a way to perfect my craft, but I wouldn't even say perfect it yet. I got plenty of training to do. I got to hit the studio.
Growing in the game, exactly.
It's
never a spot that you could just chill at. You know what I mean? Even if you feel like you've learned it all, there's still more that you can do. You know what I mean? It's just it's just something that's out of your boundaries.
Oh yeah, and it's going to the gym. I'm not going to be surprised. If I'm working at it every day, you're going to see things get better, but then you're also going to notice the other things that need work. If I sat in the gym and just worked on my 3-pointers all day, and I shot shit ton of 3-pointers, but then I went up and missed 5-6 layups, and the layups being my hook, and the 3-pointers being my verse. I need to go back and perfect some hooks to be able to be more catchy. I know I can rhyme and put out wordplay, but can I put out A-B poetic rhythmic lines and put them out in a way to where it's catchy but also fits the tune. So music is just like anything else. You really gotta stop, listen, focus on one field, and then even if you feel like you're doing great at that right there, there's always going to be something else to do.
Right. And tell me how about the people that have featured in your songs, or that you have featured in them, have they all been local artists?
Yes, I have worked with nothing but local artists. I have some things in the work that look out for, are going to be super exciting, but I have some people that I'm going to be working with out of Miami and out of North Carolina. And they're super cool people, yeah. But I have music with Eddie Colucci out here, super cool, super local artist. You can find him on SoundCloud. I did some work with Loose Juice, and I have some underground work with Hyro in the works, who sent me some beats, sending him some beats, trying to figure out time. I did some work with Kay Tazzy we haven't gotten to lay out yet. There's a lot of in between being a local artist and trying to upcome working school and a job. You can't really socialize and link as much as you want. Also with this pandemic going around,
Word, for sure.
You're limited to a lot of things.
And how did the pandemic affect the whole process of making music? Did it grow? Could you put out more content because of the pandemic, or was it you just at a point in time where you were stuck?
It was kind of different for me because I noticed a lot of people were talking about the pandemic hit, so their shows slowed down and they weren't doing as many live performances. But
but that's where revenue comes in for them.
That is where revenue comes in. But as soon as the pandemic hit, we heard about it back in March. I was in I was saying, I just remember hearing a lot of people talk about pandemic slowing things down. A lot of places shut down. A lot of shows were slowing down. People were talking about missing performances and performing live. And that's whenever I seen a lot of people lock into the studio. That was back in March, and I ironically was out in Miami performing some live shows. So it was a lot different for me. So during the pandemic, I was out performing in different states that weren't fully informed on what was going on yet. So I was kind of running from the pandemic while putting on shows. So I performed in Miami, and then on the way back we performed in North Carolina, and then we came back here. So I think I did like a total of 3 shows in those 2 states, and then we came back here, and I was supposed to do a show somewhere in North Charleston. It was like a little festival someone was putting together.
At the music farm?
No, it was a little festival someone was putting together, like out in their like woods. It was like a house party situation.
Yeah.
So, but with COVID going on, it closed it down, and I just thought it was so weird because I've been doing shows for like 3-4 weeks now, and I didn't even like necessarily like hear too much about the virus at first. So after that, that's whenever I utilized the time like everybody else did. Like my job closed down, so like I was getting paid to wait for the store to open back up. So I thought to myself, this is a great time to invest in some studio equipment.
Right.
And that would be like the biggest advice I give to everyone, getting off track with the COVID talk here. But biggest advice as an artist, if you are paying for studio time, that is great because you are getting good quality and good sound out of it. But if you save your money for 5-6 months and take all that time you were spending at someone else's studio and put that shit in your house and perfect your craft on your own, you are going to make a lot more music on your own time and feel way more comfortable. And you're going to perfect some other crafts, as in engineering, producing, making beats, and it's going to teach you a whole different side of things. You're going to put your feet in somebody else's shoes so nobody can overcharge you or slap your head for something. I highly suggest taking the time to teach yourself a couple things into producing, engineering, mixing. Even if you don't perfect it, at least get an idea of it and put the studio in your house.
Words of wisdom right there. You heard it first. That's Live 5. No, I'm sure that would fake that. But nah, that's dope, man. For real. You got the whole studio at your house now?
Yeah, I just I really lock in after I get off work, whether like the homies pull up and we're just, you know, smoking, drinking, then it's like, you know what? I feel like making a beat right now, or like, you know, I'm home alone and like I got some beats sent to me from my homie in Florida. I'm like, you know what, I feel like laying out some tracks. Like I don't have to drive 30 minutes somewhere to go and pay somebody $80 for an hour of their time. I can get off work at 6 o'clock and I can work till 1 in the morning if I want. I can make a song in 40 minutes if I feel like confident enough and I'm like, you know, popping shit.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all on your own accord. Like, yeah, you're gonna spend like a pretty penny getting that shit set up, but all that time you're gonna put in the studio, think about all the money you're giving to somebody else that you could be putting into your own personal craft.
At the end of the day, it's gonna be worth it. You know
yeah, 100%.
And that's just more stuff that you're learning too. Now that you got the studio equipment, and if like you don't know how to do this, like all right, you gotta take the time to really learn it and
100%. Yeah,
like you said.
You know, somebody like, if you're new to the game and you don't understand like what's going on, you're just like, all right, I want to make a song, I don't know how to make a beat, I got this off YouTube, I gotta buy this off someone, and someone's like, all right, it's $400 for 3 hours. Like, you might think, oh, that's a great deal, like, you know, but low key, you save that $400, then you save it on your next paycheck, then you save it on your third paycheck. You didn't make music for a month and some change, but now you got a whole studio in your house, and now you can put out as much content as you want, you know? And that's pretty much what they're doing, and then they're just selling their, like, talent, you know? So their studios that they're opening up is pretty much just someone like me who had a dream, but wanted to do it in a different fashion.
No, for sure, because there's different things that you could do within the same industry.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And I think that's, like, with everything, really, you know what I mean? Within, like, the shoe business, within the fashion culture, within the music, like, there's just so many things that you could do that doesn't involve actually doing, you know what I mean, the main thing.
I learned that, like, I wouldn't necessarily say the hard way, but the stressful way. Whenever I did invest in the studio, I thought, okay, let me just get my beats from my producer, rap, and whoop, make a song. No. There's a lot of little key components, sounds, like mixtures, tunes.
Just little details that you got.
Tedious work. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm a very anxious person. When something's not getting right, I get a little frustrated and I'm just like, yo, fuck this.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's something, you know, you just gotta dedicate yourself to. And so, like, when it comes to music, like, being an artist, you're just the front line, you know? Like, people don't think about what it takes to be a videographer who makes the music videos come to life, or the designers who make your favorite rapper look cool. Like, you know, all the little things behind that, the guy who made the beat, or the guy he sent to engineer the beat and mix the beat. You know, sometimes it's like 6 people on a beat.
Right.
I believe the one song with J. Cole, DaBaby, and who was the third one on it? It was Dreamville. There was like, I want to say 12 people who engineered that beat, which came just from a sample onto building onto that, which led onto 3 artists on it. And that song was built by like at least 14, 15 individuals.
Right. And they just overlook that, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like the artist's song. You know what I mean?
100%. Whenever we listen to it, we see J. Cole, Dreamville, DaBaby, and you hear a dope beat. Right. And you're probably in your head like, oh, whoever made that's dope, not thinking that it took 10 people to construct this beat as a team to hear little things, because there's so many different components to it, you know?
And the guy who did the video, you know what I mean? He was filming all 3 of them.
The producer, the director, the audio like engineer, like the graphic designer, editor, everything in between it, like video productions. If you look on YouTube and like these like big name corporations, Lyrical Lemonade, Edgar Steves, anything like that, you look at it, they'll post a whole strip of everyone who helped, like, and it goes from like co-producer, producer, director, co-director, fashion design, side people, and like that's the real way to do it. Like, you're shouting everyone out and giving everyone the credits they deserve, but you're really seeing behind the scenes a little bit of like how much more there is to this industry than just being the rapper, you know? And a lot of these people are making a lot more money, if not the same amount, as the artists are, because the artists have to pay them to get this done, you know?
Yeah, 100%. So they're losing money because they don't know how to do it on their own, like you said, you know what I mean?
Give or take, you know, it's a win-win, because, like, you know, you can't have your cake and eat it too in all situations. So, like, you know, the fact that to find someone in the world who's gonna mix, master, engineer, produce, shout out Russ, but also make the music videos, upload the music videos, direct them, like literally everything on your own, like that is a very tough task, and that's why you have overhead, that's why you have a team. But as long as you build your team correctly, you can do pretty much anything you want.
Yeah, that's good, man. What about your team? How you think y'all doing, man?
I think we're doing good. We're very persistent. You know, I just filmed another music video last night. I just dropped one last week. Shout out Abe's. He let me use the BMW. Abe's in the new one. Go check out No Time, ASM Matak on YouTube.
You know the
Music
vibes.
Muffin Entertainment. That's the page to follow. But
how did you guys meet? Did you just like already know these people and like you knew each one of their craft and like you just was like, hey?
When it came to music for me, like I met people slowly but surely, just like through time, and it's like really a beautiful thing, honestly. Like, I have had a great year. Like I said, I dropped my first song July 19th of 2019, so it's only been a year and like 4 or 5 months now. But I've been to Miami, I've been to the West Coast, I've been to Raleigh, I've performed places, I've gotten revenue off streams, you know, like I've made my own merchandise, I've met producers, I've worked with different producers, I've gotten featured on songs, I've featured people on songs, and it's just like, over time, like, it all started in a work truck at 84 Lumber, and I was freestyling on a beat on the way to go drop off windows. And my boy Eddie Colucci, who's on the song No Time, again, shout out, but he just was like, dude, you can rap. And I was like, always wanted to rap, but I never thought it was a thing. He's like, come meet my producer. And so that night, I met Asen, and Asen told me, just be yourself in the booth. He's like, I don't care who the fuck you think's out here, who you know or don't know, like, you're in there by yourself. Make this song and make it how you want it. And Asen was a huge, huge influence on me, like, being introduced to music so comfortably. Like, he was so understanding, so cool. Like, he's a big dude, and he makes some pretty dope-ass music. And then for me to go in there making my emotional music at first, poetic, like, kind of shit, you know, I was, like, sad on the beat. And I came out, and he gave me a dap and, like, you know, a bro hug and shit, and was like, yo, that was hard. Eddie was like, you did your thing in there, man. So, like, being in a comfortable environment like that is very, like, influential. So it made me want to come back and work with Asen again. So it's all about making connections and how you want to talk to people.
Those relationships that you make with the different people, 100%. And not only that, you build upon each other, too. You know what I mean? So, like, how can we make each other better, and how can we, you know, put other people on and stuff like that?
We all got dreams, we all got things we want to accomplish, Some of them are the same, some of them are in the same alley, some of them are completely in different books. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to be something and do something, so why not support it, you know?
Yeah.
Every day, I mean, I know I do it, you probably do it too. We listen to people we don't even know in real life. Like, I'll be bumping Nav and Russ and Young Pinch, and like, yeah, they're cool artists, but I don't know them personally. So that's why I still have my fair share of local artists that I bump every day to support them. I'll throw them on my story and be like, listen, like, these are the people I grew up with. If not, these are my day ones who acted like blood since day one. So like, supporting each other in this industry is very big. I feel like I notice after a certain point, social media gets attached to people. And once you get like a certain amount of followers to following ratio, you kind of feel like you don't need to support people as much, or like, but no, at the end of the day, if you have 5 million followers or 5 followers, like, I'm going to support you, I'm going to shoot your shit, like, you know, we're going to jam out. As long as you're good people, good spirits, like, that's what it's all about.
It's all love, you know what I mean?
I watched your first interview with the Altered Ego, what was his name?
Will,
yeah, and he said it best, like, you know, it just starts with a conversation, and then next thing you know, you're having a better conversation with them, next thing you know, you got their phone number, next thing you know, you got connections, and you're good friends, and, like, you're supporting their shit, they're helping you with your shit, and it just, you know, like...
Especially here in Charleston, bro. Charleston is small. You know what I mean?
Very small,
so, like, everything goes around, you know what I mean? Like, people will definitely know, you know, but some just choose not to support, I guess.
I was about to say,
but it's all good, you know what I mean? Like, no hard feelings, like, it's all good.
No, not at all, like... And if that's how it is, like, I want to see everybody eat. Some people just not at my table, you know? But I would never wish anything bad on anyone, you know? I want success for everyone who's in this game, anyone who wants to, like, be an author or, like, make shoes, you know? Be anything, an athlete, you know? Just do your shit, be humble. Don't be an asshole. Yeah, that's as easy. Don't be an asshole, you know, like, you'll go a long way not being a dickhead, you know. Keep a smile on your face, support the friends, and live out your dream, really.
Yeah, man, keep it pushing. Just be on the grind, man. Like,
because you never know how far you can get if you don't try.
That is true, man. You gotta put the work into it, and then see if it becomes something, you know what I mean? If you fail, then either try again or try something different. You know what I mean?
One of my favorite quotes, I'd rather deal with oh wells than what ifs.
Yeah.
You know? I'd rather wake up and be like, oh well, it didn't work, than like be 40 and be like, man, what if I did try to rap? What if I did pop? You know? At least I got the answer.
And right now we're young, bro. Like, you might as well do it now. Like, you don't want to be 30, you know what I mean? Starting to get into the rap game. It's like, nah, bro. Like, by that time, you should have a family, my G.
You should be figuring something out. Right. Or have it. Like on the line.
Yeah, like, it's coming. It's coming, you know what I mean? But like, nah, don't say it's coming. You're already like 45. Like,
yeah, I feel like your creative genius, like, it doesn't have an age limit, but certain fields definitely do.
Right.
And that's not even like me saying like, oh, you can't be old and rap. It's more of a demographic thing. And like, you know, we grow out of things. People grow out of things. So if I were to be rapping 40, 50 years from now, I might not like the same things I like now, and I might not be able to trigger and engage with the people I want to, you know? So as much as, like, you might have raw talent, it also comes with appearance, cadence, delivery, and unfortunately, like, it's really about social status nowadays, and that all draws back into the internet, you know, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, like...
It's crazy, bro. Yeah. It's really insane nowadays, bro. I remember when we still had the OG Instagram logo. Come on now, you know what I mean?
I remember my first flip phone. I had to text by clicking 4 times to like one letter. Yeah. But no,
Sidekick. I ain't like you had that shit though back in the day. Like, it was a shit.
I had the juke, the thing that flipped forward, like that little strip one. Yeah, and then a razor. Those were dope though. Those were a good time.
Yeah. They was at a good time, man.
I done made so much I can't pick and fucking choose. Yeah. I done earned so much I can't split it with my crew. Yeah.
We just made some history, what the fuck did you just do? What? When y'all were talking shit, we stuck to the plan like it was glue. Hurting all my money, you think I was fucking Jew? Skipping past the bullshit, so I skipped right past you. Bitch. Didn't wanna say it, but I seen you had changed. Didn't wanna say it, but I seen you acting fake. Didn't wanna say it, but you only want